Your live assets are now set up and your files are converted into translatable format. You're ready to actually start translating. In this section, I'll show you the two translation client environments offered by Translation Workspace, the Microsoft Word plugin and the XLIFF Editor. The Microsoft Word plugin offers a familiar environment for many translators as it installs on top of an existing Microsoft Word installation. It is recommended for Word doc, RTF, and Trados non-pre-segmented TTX files that have been converted into RTF format. You must have a valid Microsoft Word install on your machine in order to use the Microsoft Word plugin. For recommended and supported Microsoft Word versions, please refer to the geoworks.com Resources Frequently Asked Questions page. For all other file formats, we recommend converting the source file into XLZ format and translating using the XLIFF Editor. The XLIFF Editor is a translation client that has been designed specifically to work with Translation Workspace and is more robust with more features. Both translation environments can be quickly downloaded, have minimal system requirements, and can receive updates automatically when connected to the Translation Workspace server. They also both feature extensive in-client help systems, so you can find more information when you need it. Before I go to the demo to show you how to use these two translation clients, let me go over the basics of how a computer-aided translation client typically works. When you open a file to be translated, you'll see that Translation Workspace has segmented or separated out the source text into manageable sized strings. You'll see each segment pair expressed within parentheses, where the first parentheses contains the source segment and the second parentheses contains the target segment. The number in the middle represents the match percentage that was available for that segment. When you open a segment to translate it, it will open three boxes. The top section gives you the information from the TM, such as the match percentage, the name of the TM that the match is coming from, and the user that stored the translation, and the date and time that the translation was first stored. The middle section shows the segment contained in the source segment that you are currently translating, and the bottom section shows a suggested translation if a match is available. You can edit the target translation in the bottom section or accept it as is. To open a segment to translate it, place your cursor at the start of the segment and click the Open Segment button. You may notice in the top TM information section that there are multiple matches available. If that's the case, you can click on the Get Previous Match and Get Next Match buttons to see all the available stored translations. When you find the one you want to use, click the Insert Current Match into Target to paste it into the target area. You can quickly identify differences between the translation stored in your TM versus what's in the source file by the yellow highlighting. For reference, use the Terminology Search feature to find translated terms in linked glossaries, and the Concordance Search feature to find translated segments in linked translation memories. Any hits from background link glossaries will also automatically display in the terminology view. Let's now take a quick look at the Microsoft Word plugin and XLIFF Editor to see what it looks like to translate using Translation Workspace. To translate an RTF file, open it in the Microsoft Word plugin. Then go to the Translation Workspace ribbon and connect to the Translation Workspace server. I'll select the default client configuration options for now, choose the translation memory that I want to store my translations to, and specify the source and target languages. Then I can go to Open Segment to open the first segment to be translated. This particular segment doesn't need to be translated, so I can go ahead and click on the Store, Close, and Open Next Segment button. That will store the first translation and open up my next segment. You can see that terminology matches from that segment have automatically popped up in the Auto Terminology window. The information in the top third represents information from the translation memory. This example shows a 101% context-sensitive match from a background link TM called My Trusted TM, which has a priority of +5%. This particular translation was stored by the freelance user on this date and time. I can also see when the same segment was modified and by who. I can also see that there's another match available waiting for me to review. If I click on the Get Next Match button, I can see that next match. And I can continue to browse through all the available matches to see which translation works best for me. Any differences between what's stored in the TM and what's in the source file are quickly and easily identifiable with the yellow highlighting. To insert the current translation from the translation memory, click on the Copy Found Match. You can also manually search the terminology from your background link glossary by clicking on Search a Term in the Auto Terminology window. If you accidentally close it, you can reopen it by clicking on the Search button and then clicking on Search a Term. To find partial matches, enable the Substring Match option, and it finds all matches from the background link glossary. To do a concordance search of all connected TMs, click on Concordance. Then you can search on a segment to find it within your TM and background linked TMs. Another useful feature is this Translate to Next Non-100% Match button. When you click on it, Translation Workspace will automatically go through your document and translate all the segments where 100% or 101% match is found, and then open the next segment to be translated. If I scroll up, you can see that all of these segments now show source segment in the first parentheses, and then syntax showing the match percentage, and then the target segment. I'll go ahead and save the file so I have a partially translated RTF. Much of the same functionality is available when translating an XLZ file in the XLIFF Editor. The first time you open a file that has no bilingual segments saved in it, you'll be prompted to select the target language. Similar to in the Microsoft Word plugin, you can click on the Open Segment button, or you can just double-click on the segment. Whenever you try to do something that requires a connection to the server, the XLIFF Editor will prompt you to log in if you're not already logged in. Select the translation memory that you want to store your translations to, and select the source and target languages. Again, any terminology matches that are available pop up in the terminology view to the right. You can minimize or expand that view based on your needs. The Get Next Match button allows you to cycle through all the various translations. Click on the Copy the Current Match button to paste the current translation into your target segment line. The Translate to Next Non-100% Match option is also available in the XLIFF Editor, and it runs through the document and translates all of these segments that have 100% or 101% match in the TM, and then opens the next available non-translated segment. You can type in the new translation and then store that translation. The XLIFF Editor also has some nice features that allow you to show or hide contextual information. For example, this particular segment has a lot of red and gray non-translatable text. You can hide that text using the Show Minimal Segment Tags option. This same option is available per segment or document-wide by clicking on this Show and Hide Contextual and Tag Information buttons at the bottom of the screen. You also have the option of showing source language only, target language only, or bilingual. To search the terminology or linked glossary manually, type in the word that you want to search in the search view, enable substring match for partial matches, and click Search. You'll find all the matches appear in the terminology view. To search any linked TMs, click on the Concordance Search button and search in the Concordance Search window. Again, we'll save this file and pretend that we're finished translating.